have for you a short but kind of intense practice that's really going to get the job done. This isn't exactly a beginner practice, so be sure to go at your own pace, modify as needed. There's one or two real kind of zingers in this practice. So just take care of yourself, go gentle, and do what you can. Namaste. Okay, we'll start with some basic warm-ups. The first one, my very favorite, not to be missed, knocking on the door of life, Qigong. This movement gets really everything going. It's both a self-massage technique and an exercise. So my hands are swinging, but they're landing on a couple of acupressure points. One is right at the small of the back, the point known to Ming Men, and the other one on the front of the hip bone. And this is probably one of the most important movements to do to start out your practice, or if this is the only thing you're going to do in a day, do this. It just gets everything mobilized, and you'll feel better, you'll feel more energized after doing this. Okay, so moving on to the joint rotation segment of our warm-up, starting with the head and the neck. Be gentle with your head and neck, but it's really important that this area is clear before we start with our deeper asanas, as well as all the other joints of the body are super important junctures. Now we'll go to the ankles. Super important junctures where meridians and nadis, depending on what language you're using, the subtle energy channels are flowing through these joints. And so we want to have those as clear and as mobilized as we can in order to increase our chances of being successful with our asana. Ankle rotation, a little bit tricky. You want to tuck your toe and try to roll around the whole ankle. So just be patient with yourself. It might feel uncoordinated at first. Okay, now feet together, and we'll circle the knees. This is a martial arts warm-up. It's really about firing up the thighs, the quadricep muscles particularly. Try to keep your weight in the heels and make some deep bends with the knees. Remember, we're warming our legs up for potential greater exertions on our knees later in the practice. Done that correctly, you're going to be ready to hang in a forward bend and to give those legs a release. So that's a really good example of a charge and a discharge of the energy. Okay, rolling up, and here we're going to begin our dynamic asana sequence. So we're going to interlace our hands, arch back. I just turn to the side so you can get a better view. Forward fold, and then I'm going to take, after I rest here in my forward fold, I'm going to bend my knees a few times, just continuing to warm up the legs. Nice deep, kind of like a plie bend, and then roll up the spine with straight legs, interlace the hands, and back into the arch. Now you do not have to arch back very far, especially if that's challenging for you or if you get dizzy. Just take it straight up or take it back to the degree that's comfortable for you. And then we'll continue here with these roll-ups. Just follow along. Okay, next we'll take some long side bends. So again, I just turned to get a better angle for the camera. So you don't have to turn, you can just keep looking straight forward at the video. but we're just going to put our feet together and take some long side bends. And then the next movement we'll do is we'll take our hands, which are already interlaced, place them behind your head, and we'll do these kind of standing march twists. Now, is this necessarily a yoga posture? Not really, but it's very effective in activating the entire body, the core, the hip flexors, everything that we need. So just take a few rounds with me, breathing. Okay, for this next sequence, you're going to need a couple of props. You're going to need a chair and a scarf or a strap, something that you can stretch with. But right off the bat, we'll just come into this chair dog, which is really delicious, and then coming back and forth into upward dog, into downward dog on the chair. So you will love this if you have stiff hamstrings, the backs of your legs aren't that open yet. This is a great way to train your legs. It actually trains the entire body, the shoulders, the chest, trains the back bend, trains the forward bend. This is a real gem right here. Next, coming down on our knees, placing our elbows on the chair. You can walk your knees back a little bit and see if you can get your head through your upper arms. Now, if it doesn't go through, don't worry. It will if you practice. But just get wherever you can to get that nice opening in the armpits and the chest. And I know it can be very strong, so just be gentle with yourself, do the best you can. All right, perfect. So crawling out of that slowly, getting up slowly, respecting our body. Now is the time that we need to get our scarf or our yoga strap, whatever we have. I'm just using a simple scarf. And we're gonna bring one foot, I'm bringing what I call my outside foot up on the chair. I call it my outside foot, it's the farthest from the device. And then I'm just gonna go back and forth in this kind of lunge, shoulder stretch combination. So just take your strap over. You're going to have to find that perfect distance on your strap where you can bring your hands all the way over. So if it feels tight, that means that you need to put your hands farther apart from each other. Next variation, we'll turn towards the device and we'll come into this. This is a triangle and a warrior. Okay, if you know those standing poses, you can see how we're still making those shapes, even though we're up on the chair and we're working it dynamically. Okay, so this is the reverse warrior and this is the triangle pose. So just take it back and forth with easy breathing and enjoy. Right into the next one, a little bit more complicated. We're going to circle that arm in front of the face and come into kind of a Parshvakonasana, standing posture on the chair. Okay, so in order to do this, you have to keep pulling the two hands away from each other to keep the strap tight. Okay, and you take that hand down and you swing it back up. And this is very effective working the hips. Okay, sides of the body, legs, everything. Beautiful. Okay, that was one side, so we're going to come back now and do this chair downward dog to chair upward dog. Just kind of as a spacer, and you're going to find now the second time you're doing this that it's a little deeper. Okay, second side. So if you want to keep looking at the device, you can just take your chair and move it to the other side of the mat. But all I've done is switched legs. Alright? So dynamic lunge with the shoulder stretch. Turn, hands up overhead, and now dynamic reverse warrior to triangle on the chair. So you can see how I really bring my sitting bone in toward my heel. I stretch open my side body. This is really fun. I hope you like it. Okay, now that inner hand, the hand closest to the chair, has to circle in front of the face. See how I make that transition? It sweeps down, my top arm opens, pulling away from the two hands on the strap, coming into Parshvakonasana, and then kind of just a standing with a stretch on that leg. Back to dog pose on the chair. This is where we neutralize, stabilize, do something symmetrical with the body. And then again, feel that opening that you've created from those dynamic moves. Okay, the next one, we're getting into deep water now. This is going to be some balancing, but we have the chair. Okay, chair is our friend. So starting in Virabhadrasana number 1, which is the first warrior, we're going to just come forward into this warrior 3 position, using the chair to help us. And again, just dynamic work. We're going to go back and forth. So as you notice, I want to try to keep my back flat. I want to keep my back leg high. And imagine, and my down leg straight. That's very important. Really practice to keep your down leg straight in that warrior 3. Okay, extending the energy out the head, out the foot. Okay, and imagining yourself in that balance, in that warrior 3 balance on one leg. And then here we're going to do just a couple leg raises. Okay, just strengthening that back body, those glute muscles, which we need for back bends. And now a few bends on the standing leg. And really practice getting that leg straight when you straighten and bend when you bend it. Holding on to the chair. Back to warrior 1. Inhale. And turn. Widen the legs a little bit. We keep going. Another balance. Okay? We're going to bend that front leg. Come to the chair. Ardha Chandrasana. And then it steps back to reverse warrior. So this is not really a beginner practice, if you've noticed. It does take a lot of coordination, balance, and some basic yoga skills you have to have down. So to work it dynamic in this way. So here we go, reverse warrior, back to the chair, Ardha Chandrasana, the half moon pose. It really trains that standing leg to be able to straighten and bend when it's supposed to. Okay, back to the chair, chair dog. Really feel that opening that's coming in your body. Really nice, juicy, up to downward dog. And you guys are doing great. We're almost through this. Okay, I know this is not an easy segment of the practice, but here we go. Virabhadrasana 1 to Virabhadrasana 3. Back and forth. You know the drill. Just do the best you can. Last time we come to Vira 3, we'll take a few of these leg raises. So just up and down, try to extend through your leg and feeling that back body, that glute engage. And coming up. Reverse warrior. And Ardha Chandrasana. Okay, sometimes it's not perfect. We'll do our best. Reverse warrior and wait until the heel of that standing leg is going to give you the stability that you're looking for that balance. So thank goodness we have the chair. Okay, really try to peel open that top hip. Okay, long side stretch in the reverse warrior, and then right up onto that leg, right up onto the heel, back and forth. Dynamic. And then back to dog pose on the chair. Stretch. Okay, this next segment, a little bit advanced maybe, so just modify, do it to your level. But what I'm doing is from dog, okay, taking a little jump. I'm seeing if I can land the tops of my toes. If you can't do that, don't worry. Just come down to a kneeling posture, tuck your toes, and bend back any amount. So this is a flexibility sequence, flexibility drill. Okay, really tucking those toes and then taking that arch back. I'm going a little bit farther each time. I'm working on my back bend skills here. Definitely do not need to go as far back as I'm going, but if you can, if you are ready, you can take it down to your elbows, really open the throat. Back to the chair. And the last one, I'm taking it all the way down to my head. So this is an advanced posture, guys. So don't rush into this. I'm just showing you, I'm just giving you ideas of where we're working into, okay? Building that back bend bit by bit. And then we're just going to come up, just stretch the back, stretch the legs, and we'll say goodbye to that chair. Okay, great. So before we go to the floor, we're just going to put a few finishing touches on our legs with some dynamic Devi Asana, goddess pose. It's also known as horse or plie, okay, many names. But one amazing move that trains the entire lower body very effectively. Okay, you want to make sure your knees are pressed back behind the big toe, okay, weight in the heels. And just be patient with yourself. Coming into a wide forward bend, Prasarita Padottanasana. Your legs will be ready for this after those horses. And breathing, nice straight legs here. Okay, from this forward bend, we're going to make this little transition to the floor. Now, if you can't do that little jump, don't worry. We just want to come into this Mandukasana. The knees are wide, the toes are close. If you need to sit up on a support, you can. Support could be a cushion or even a yoga brick. But just get yourself comfortable in the posture, and then we're going to do a couple of twists in it. Okay, this is actually a really good pose to cultivate for your seats. Okay, little transition, hands in front, tuck your toes, roll over your toes, come to this little squat here. And then from that little squat, hand goes behind. I had to cheat a little bit. And I come into this position where I'm going to prepare to go into a Janu Shirshasana variation. Okay, so one leg is outstretched and the other arm's going to come up over the head, and I'm going to reach for my toe. Now I know this isn't an easy position, and that's why we're going to do it dynamically a few times to get ourselves prepped to sustain the posture. Okay, so we want to swing our arm over. See, I'm going for my opposite knee with that other hand. I do the counter stretch and then over the top. And if you can't reach anything, it's okay. Do the best you can. Once we sustain it, if you want to lasso your foot with a yoga strap, that's totally fine. And then I'm lifting up into this counter pose. I just turn to the side. And other side, changing my legs. Janu Shirshasana, variation. This is actually known as Parivrta Janushirshasana. Okay, 3 dynamic bends first. Number 2. And you just stretch to as close as you can get. It's like, it's no big deal if you can't reach. It takes a long time to reach. But then once you get over there, try to bind it either with a strap or without, and sustain, breathing. Beautiful. Inhale, coming up, foot goes flat, and counter pose. Beautiful. Lifting up. Okay, at this point in the class, I do recommend that you lie down on your back and take a spinal twist. Please take whatever kind of twist that you know, your favorite twist. Just lie on your back and do whatever your body needs. Because I didn't record any concluding movements after this. I felt complete, but I do recommend that you lie on your back, do a spinal twist, do whatever you feel like your body needs to digest and integrate all this work. You did a great job. It was very dynamic. And thank you so much for hanging in with me for this long. And then after you've done your spinal twist, then please take Shavasana. Okay? Thank you so much for watching. Namaste.